This is TWiT.
According to Bloomberg, by the end of 2020, which is just a couple of years out now, not even that much. Well, yeah, 2 years from now, Beijing will judge every resident based on behavior. It's the social credit system which China has been rolling out. China's plan to judge each of its 1.3 billion people based on social behavior is moving closer. I talked to a Reuters journalist who was for 13 years bureau chief in China. She was also concerned. She said, there's always been this authoritarian, drive in China, but technology has suddenly enabled it to a degree unprecedented.
And they're really going for it.
Jack Ma,
Alibaba.
There was a quote where he said, when this rolls out, we'll never, have a problem at the square again.
No, everybody be nice.
And he meant, Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
Because they can just see it coming and arrest everybody before there's a...
It's called totalitarianism.
Yep. And, it's back.
Yeah.
But the point is that
panopticon.
Totalitarianism is now enabled in ways that it had never been able. I mean, this is literally the panopticon. Everything that you do can potentially be seen.
Yeah, it's visible.
That's why I installed a Facebook portal in my house.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Good thinking.
Because I figure Mark is going to be better than anybody.
I mean, it's like an episode of Black Mirror, essentially, right?
It's
literally, it's called Nosedive. It's in season 3 of Black Mirror. You could go watch it. The idea that eventually everything you do will get you a score, and China is implementing it.
Yeah,
it is.
So they've been doing it in southern China, but Beijing says now they're going to pool data. This is a Bloomberg story. The capital city will pool data from several departments to reward and punish some 22 million citizens based on their actions and reputations. This is a plan posted on the Beijing municipal government's website Monday. Those with better social credit will get green channel benefits. You're in the green channel. While those who violate laws will find life more difficult.
And they make it, that sounds more innocuous even than it is. Violate laws can mean things like mentioning Winnie the Pooh on social media.
Right.
Or,
because that was what
there was a meme that
was being compared to Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
So it's presumed if you mention Winnie the Pooh, there's a secret message.
That's right.
It's a dog whistle.
The laws themselves that if violated get you this low social score are themselves objectionable.
Well, what I'm concerned is that we basically have this plan already in the United States. It's called Facebook. Everybody has
but it's not run by the government.
Yes, but the minute we're at war with China,
we'll turn it on.
And the government says, hey, switch. The Chinese government has that. We're the U.S. government. We need it too because it's a national emergency. Zuck, hand it over.
And they could.
The difference is we have an opposition political party and we have the First Amendment. So,
But we do have a totalitarian regime ready to be turned on at a flip of the switch.
In other words, all the tools are there.
All the tools are there. The social credit score has already been built.
I'm saying if you're a Democrat, hug a Republican and vice versa because essentially the law
band together.
One of the things that they are going to use this totalitarian technology dystopian system for is preventing an alternative political party from arising or people actually calling for democracy or things like that. So be thankful.
This is used right now economically, and China's very forthright about it. Hangzhou is doing it. They've had a personal credit system. They rolled it out earlier this year. By the end of May, people with bad credit in China, according to the Chinese National Development and Reform Commission, have been blocked from booking more than 11 million flights and 4 million high-speed train trips. The Beijing project.
You get to go in the fast lane if you have a good credit score.
Yeah. Otherwise, the Beijing project will improve blacklist systems so that those deemed untrustworthy will, quote, be unable to move even a single step, according to the government's plan.
Think of human rights as if they could only be redeemed by frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
That's basically what's going on.
Holy cow. And I think Jack Ma and Alibaba are very much in the forefront of this. For instance, Alipay has become the dominant commercial transaction method in China. People don't, we're moving towards cashless societies. If everything is digital, then everything is known.
Well, I think what is behind so much of this, and you see this in the rise of authoritarianism in the West as well, is in the end, people want to be comfortable. They want, food and clothing and shelter and maybe some creature comforts. And what China is able to do is they have lifted so many people out of poverty and into a middle class and an upper class. I believe the estimates are that the middle class in China maybe in the next few years will be the size of the entire population of the United States. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And there is a willingness among a lot of people to trade that comfort and not worry about the other aspects of social control that their government might give them.
Yeah,
which I think is legit. I mean, the idea, how many people has the totalitarian China saved from grinding poverty in the last 10 years?
The communists have saved people from poverty by embracing capitalism and rejecting communism, but
now
the social political control of the Communist Party is still very handy.
Right, and they're saying, we're going to do capitalism in a new way. No, thank you, United States. We're going to have totalitarian capitalism, and I'm sure it will work pretty well for a while, because if everybody just is heads down and doing their job because they don't want to get a bad social score, I bet it will boost their economy. I mean, they'll look very competitive. We'll have we'll have to read these dumb articles that say, maybe the Chinese are onto something. Maybe it's impossible to have a democracy with a couple billion people. This seems to be working. And then, of course, it will turn into a reign of terror.
Democracy is ugly as sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really so is Pol Pot, right?
So it could get worse.
But
the streets are clean and the trains are on.
And that's the argument: is as long as people are comfortable, they may be willing to forego democracy.
And by the way,
Singapore.
that seems to be the
exactly.
And not worry about the million Muslims that have been rounded up and put into re-education camps.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but they're off
as long as
way
you're
out
comfortable
in the West, and we don't have to pay attention to them.
Yeah,
that's the real problem. It's very easy to hide your head.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was depressing.
Yeah, let's get
We're going to move on.
Okay.
Let's talk about Russia.
China can't be fixed, and they're a huge economic threat.
It's an interesting story. I think it's, I don't know if it's clear what the answer is, especially to this whole Huawei thing. I think that's just the tip of the iceberg.